Good morning, students. Let's continue with the lesson. Lesson number 2, Physical Features of India. In today's video, we are going to learn about Himalayas. The Himalayan mountains. The Himalayan mountains are geologically young and structurally old mountains. What do you mean by young mountains? Yes, they are formed recently. And what about fold mountains? They are formed due to the process of folding. And I had already explained you about the formation of Himalayas as well as the process of folding. It's located in the northern borders of India. So where are the Himalayan mountains located? Yes, they are located in the northern borders of India. The Himalayan mountains runs between Indus and Brahmaputra. Here you can see the image of Himalayas, young and fold mountains. Here students, you can see the rivers Indus and Brahmaputra. So Himalayan mountains run between river Indus and river Brahmaputra. Is that clear, students? Himalayas are located in the northern borders of India. I hope it's clear. Himalayas represent the loftiest. Loftiest means tall, tallest. And one of the most rugged mountain barrier of the world. What do you mean by rugged? Rocky. Himalayas covers 2,400 kilometers of distance. If you have a look over here, students, Himalayas cover 2,400 kilometers. Okay. Himalayas width varies from 400 km in Kashmir to 150 km in Arunachal Pradesh. Have a look. I'll explain you the width in the Kashmir, students, and the width in the Arunachal Pradesh. There is difference, right? The width is more in Kashmir and the width is less in Arunachal Pradesh. The width in Kashmir is 400 km, whereas in Arunachal Pradesh it is 150 km. Once again, its width varies from 400 km in Kashmir to 150 km in Arunachal Pradesh. I hope it's clear. Altitudinal variations are greater in the eastern half than those in the western half. What do you mean by this, students? Have a look at this map. The altitudinal variations, the height of the mountains, more in the eastern half than in the western half. I hope I am clear. Once again, altitudinal variations are greater in the eastern half than those in the western half. It means that the height of the mountains in the eastern half is more than those in the western half. The Himalayas consist of 3 parallel ranges. How many parallel ranges? 3 parallel ranges in its longitudinal extent. Have a look here. You can see the longitudes, right? So the Himalayas are divided into 3 parallel ranges in its longitudinal extent. Have a look at this, students. You can see the 3 parallel ranges, right? First you have Great Himalayas. Below that you have Lesser Himalayas. Below that you have Shivaliks. Great Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks. Here you can see, first we have the Great Himalayas. Okay. Then we have Lesser Himalayas. And then we have the Shivaliks. I hope I am clear, students. The Himalayas are divided into 3 parallel ranges. Himadri, which is also called as Great or Inner Himalayas. I want you to remember this, students. Himadri, Great or Inner Himalayas. The next one is Himachal or Lesser Himalaya. It is also called as Middle Himalayas. And the third one is Shivaliks, which is also called as Outer Himalayas. Once again, Himadri or Great or Inner Himalayas, Himachal or Lesser Himalayas, we can also call it as Middle Himalayas, and the third one is Shivaliks, which is also called as Outer Himalayas. Once again, Himadri, Himachal, Shivaliks. You need to remember in this way: Himadri, Himachal, Shivaliks. Okay. Now let us learn about the Himalayan ranges in detail. First, let us start with Himadri. Himadri is also called as Great or Inner Himalayas. Himadri is the northernmost range. So out of 3 parallel Himalayan ranges, Himadri is the northernmost range. It is the most continuous range consisting of the loftiest peaks. Loftiest means tallest. Okay. And what's the average height? Yes, it's 6,000 meter. So you need to remember the figure. It is of 6,000 meter. The average height is 6,000 meter. You can see the image of Himadri here. The folds of Great Himalayas are asymmetrical in nature. Asymmetrical means when you divide, you will not get equal parts. So the folds of Great Himalayas are asymmetrical in nature. The core is made up of granite. So the Himadri's core is made up of granite and it is perennially snowbound. Perennially means throughout the year it is snowbound. Throughout the year it is covered with snow. So I hope it is clear, students. Perennially snowbound means throughout the year Himadri is covered with snow. Number of glaciers descend from this range. Descend means to move from higher level to the lower level. So number of glaciers descend from this range. Here you can see the image of granite. The glaciers descending from the range. Now here are the list of some highest peaks of the Himalayas. Okay, we have Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Makalu, Dhaulagiri, Nanga Parbat, Annapurna, Nanda Devi, Kamet, Namcha Bharwa, Gurla Mandata. Okay, and see the height in meters, students. See the height of Mount Everest, 8,848 meters. And I hope you are, and I hope you know that Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. Okay. Now let us learn about the Himachal or Lesser Himalaya, also called as Middle Himalaya. Okay. Himachal Himalayas lie to the south of the Himadri. Students, first is the Himadri, right? Also called as Inner Himalayas or the Great Himalayas. Below that is to the south of the Himadri, we have Himachal Himalayas, also called as Lesser Himalayas or the Middle Himalaya. Okay. Himachal Himalayas are composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. They are compressed because they lie between Himadri and Shivaliks. They are compressed. Okay. Altered rocks. Changes have been taken place in the rocks. Average altitude varies between 3,700 meter and 4,500 meter. Earlier we have seen Himadri, it was 6,000 meter, right? For Himachal Himalayas, the average altitude varies between 3,700 meter and 4,500 meter. And what about the average width? Yes, it is 50 kilometer. Pir Panjal range forms the longest and the most important range. Dhauladhar and Mahabharat are other prominent ranges. Have a look at this map, students. Here is the Pir Panjal range, Dhauladhar range, and below that we have Mahabharat range. Okay, so Pir Panjal range is the longest range. Is that clear, students? Once again, Pir Panjal range forms the longest and the most important range. Dhauladhar and Mahabharat are other prominent ranges. Prominent ranges means important ranges. Okay. Famous valley of Kashmir, the Kangra and the Kulu valley are found in this range. So where are the famous valley of Kashmir found? Yes, they are found in the Himachal Himalayas. Okay, you can see the images now. The beautiful valleys of Kashmir, the Kulu valley, the Kangra valley. Yes, this region is well known for its hill stations. So they are famous for hill stations. I hope it's clear, students. Now let us learn about the Shivaliks or outer Himalayas. Let us start once again. First we learned about the Himadri, inner Himalayas or great Himalayas, right? Then we learnt about the Himachal Himalayas, isn't it? Lesser Himalayas or middle Himalayas. Now we are going to see the third Himalayan range, that is Shivaliks. It is also called as outer Himalayas. Okay. Shivaliks are the outermost range of the Himalayas. These ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments. Unconsolidated means loose, they are not compact. Okay, so these ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments. So these sediments are brought down by the rivers from the main Himalayan ranges located further north. So the rivers from the Himadri, Himachal, okay, they bring sediments along with them and they deposit. Here is the image of the Himalayan river carrying silt along with it. You can see the image of Shivalik here. So beautiful, right? Now let us talk about the average heights of Shivaliks. Average heights of this range varies 900 to 1100 meters. So what about the average heights of Shivaliks? Yes, it varies from 900 to 1100 meters. And what about the width? Yes, and they extend over a width of 10 to 50 kilometers. Shivalik consists of dunes. What do you mean by dunes? Yes, dunes are valleys. What do you mean by valleys? Valleys are the low-lying areas between hills and mountains. So dunes are the longitudinal valleys lying between Lesser Himalaya and the Shivalik. We have the example Dehradun, Kotli Dun and Patli Dun. These valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. Here you can see the image of dunes. They are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. Now let's see the Himalayas west to east. Okay, Himalayas are also divided on the basis of the regions in west to east. Besides the longitudinal divisions, Himalayas have been divided on the basis of regions from west to east. Let's see. Classification of Himalaya on the basis of geographical location. Here students, you can see Punjab Himalayas, right? Then you have Kumaon Himalayas, you have Nepal Himalayas as well as Assam Himalayas, isn't it? So Punjab Himalayas lie between the river Indus and river Satluj. And from river Satluj to river Kali, we have Kumaon Himalayas. Okay, between the river Kali and river Tista, we have Nepal Himalayas. And between Tista river and Dihang river, we have Assam Himalayas. Once again students, listen carefully, it's very important. Punjab Himalayas lie between the river Indus and river Satluj. Okay. Then we have Kumaon Himalayas lying between Satluj and river Kali. Then we have Nepal Himalayas lying between river Kali and river Tista. And then we have Assam Himalayas lying between river Tista and river Dihang. I hope it's clear, students. Okay, we have learnt about Punjab Himalayas, we have learnt about Kumaon Himalayas, Nepal Himalayas and Assam Himalayas. So Punjab Himalayas lie between river Indus and Satluj. Kumaon Himalayas lie between Satluj and river Kali. Nepal Himalayas lie between river Kali and river Tista. And Assam Himalayas lie between river Tista and river Dihang. I hope it's clear. Demarcated by river valley. Demarcated means to mark off the boundaries. So how are the boundaries set? By river valley. So the Himalayas between Indus and Satluj river are called Punjab, Kashmir or Himachal Himalayas. Just now we have seen, right? And Himalayas between Satluj and Kali rivers are called as Kumaon Himalayas. Himalayas between Kali and river Tista is called as Nepal Himalayas. And Himalayas between Tista and Dihang rivers are called as Assam Himalayas. If you want to have a look over here, students, once again, we have Punjab Himalayas, Kumaon Himalayas, Nepal Himalayas and Assam Himalayas, right? Now let us learn about Purvanchal Himalayas. Purvanchal Himalayas are also called as Eastern Himalayas as they lie towards the eastern part of our country. Another important part of Himalayas running in northeastern part are known as Purvanchal. Purvanchal Himalayas are also called as Eastern Himalayas. You can see the image here. Beyond the Dihang Gorge. Now what is gorge, students? Let us try to understand. Gorge is a narrow valley with steep sides. You can see the image over here. Gorge is a narrow valley with steep side and a river running through it. Can you see the river running? Yes. So gorge is a narrow valley with steep sides with river running through it. Beyond the Dihang Gorge, the Himalayas bend sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary of India, that is towards the northeastern part. It is composed of strong sandstones which are sedimentary rocks. So, Purvanchal Himalayas are composed of strong sandstones which are sedimentary rocks. You can see the image over here, students, of sedimentary rocks. It is comprised of various hills such as Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, the Manipur Hills and the Mizo Hills. Have a look over here, students, at this map. You can see the Patkai Hills, Naga Hills and the Mizo Hills. I will show it once again. Here it is more clear. Patkai Hills, Naga Hills, Mizo Hills. Okay. I hope it is clear. We have dense forest, valleys and rivers in this range. Okay, why we find dense forest here? Because of the heavy rainfall. We have valleys over here as well as many rivers flowing here. I hope it's clear, students. Let us do the recap now. We have learnt about Himadri, which is also called as Great or Inner Himalayas. We have learnt about Himachal, which is also known as Lesser Himalayas. We have learnt about the Shivaliks, which is also called as Outer Himalayas. Okay, we have also seen the Himalayas divided on the basis of regions from west to east. Okay, we have also learnt about the Purvanchal Himalayas. I hope you all have understood the topics covered today. The remaining topics we are going to learn in the next video. Till then, bye and take care.